People from everywhere, welcome back to the show. I am the host, the Game Bangers Life Coach, Coach Zoe. And on this episode, I'm going to get straight to the point. I want to address something that came upon me that I need to share with y'all. I feel like like a preacher say, the good Lord put something on his heart to share with us. And then he come and go to in the church, he get up on the pulpit and share something with him. All right. I don't know if it's the good Lord telling me to tell y'all this. Maybe it is. Maybe it's things about the good Lord that we don't understand. Some things about the good Lord that the Bible don't speak on. As you know, there's always things about a person that's not written. You only know about the things that's written. So there's a lot of things that's not written that we do not understand, do not know. But first, before I get into that, if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate that. And if you want to be kind, hit that little thanks button right there. Give me a kind, generous donation. It'll be highly appreciated. So what I'm talking about right here is this, people. This is a message to all my Crips and Bloods. No disrespect to no other race. Let me say that first and foremost. Right now, I'm addressing to my people because my people need to hear this. Period. Right? Now, in prison, this is how it works for those who do not know what it's like in the California prison. Okay, I can go to a gas station. You can go to a gas station, whoever. Or a strip mall or anywhere, Slauson, swap me, whatever. And you a Crip and you see these blood dudes, 9 times out of 10, it's on site. But in a sense, not so much these days. Some days, some people is kind of taking a step back and don't even trip, like, okay, till they say, nobody say nothing. They just like, look at them niggas over there and just going and sliding out of there. But on most cases, it's like, look at them over there. If it's a majority of these dudes over there and somebody want to be tough, want to try to push the line, who want to try to make a name for himself, he's going to create a problem, then it's going to be a situation. Now, this is on the streets. We see each other, Crips and Bloods, on site. Now, once we hit, right, we clash, and then the police come, and then all this other shit. Now we go to jail. Now we're in the county jail. We're gonna deal with the bullshit in there, running the phase a lot of times. However that go, whatever dorm you're gonna go to, you're gonna have to get down. You have to deal with that. Now, once we leave there, now you're in the state. State prison is way different than LA County jail. We always said if you can make an LA County jail, you can make it anywhere. A lot of truth to that. But it's a difference. The politics is different because you're dealing with prison. You're dealing with people who've been living there all their life. And, well, not all their life. They got the rest of their life to live there. So it's like this. We could be in prison and we see each other and we don't do shit. Like they over there, we over here. We walk right past each other. We might be sitting in the chow hall on the same table sometime. We don't do shit. Why? Because in prison, the blacks, we stick together more. We bond together more because why? We up against something bigger. We up against the Mexicans. And most times the Mexicans are along with the whites. And I say Mexicans, I mean the South Side of Serranos. So, and we dealing with all of them, and then we dealing with a lot of times the whites riding with them. Then you have some others that ride with blacks. Sometimes it depends on which prison you is, which prison you're in, and it depends on who's on the yard, because it could be some others on the yard going to like step back. But if you're on the yard with others that's Crips and Bloods, 9 times out of 10, they finna ride with the blacks when it comes to something like that. The Mexicans and the whites attack the blacks. So in prison, we come together in there. Even though we Crips, even though we Bloods, we come together and be like, okay, we ain't tripping, it's respectful, it's a black thing in here. Why we can't do that on the streets? We're up against something on the streets that's bigger than what we're dealing with in prison. In prison, we dealing with Mexicans. We dealing with whites. We dealing with racial shit. But on the streets, we dealing with racial shit also. We're up against something bigger than just dealing with Mexicans and white boys. We dealing with a motherfucking police force that got a lot of racist motherfucking police that love killing black men. Why we can't stand down on each other and deal with that and focus on that? Just think, like, you know, we got to chill because people is out to get us. In prison, we know nobody like blacks in prison. A lot of times blacks don't even like themselves in prison. We don't have major issues for us brothers from down south with brothers up north. They are brothers. You have some little ticky-tack stuff on the sometimes, but on the most part, we don't go up in there like fuck them cats from up north. They don't go in there fuck them brothers from down south. They might feel like that. Some people feel like that, but as a whole, it ain't like it's on with them the way the Mexicans is, the northern and the south. So I'm saying, if we can come together and coexist somewhat, we don't all kick it. We don't all do spreads. We ain't no kumbaya type shit in there, but we just kind of stand down on each other because we got our focus on these other people. Why in the fuck we can't get out of here? Why can't we just stand down on each other somewhat and just focus on everything that's against us? We got more stuff against us on these streets than we got in prison. But we won't even just learn how to coexist to like stall that shit out. And then they like, because we at war with them niggas. Fuck them niggas. They killed the homie. I get that. Y'all killed our homie. We killed y'all homie. At some point in time, these wars got to cease. In prison, we go into riots and shit. Then we get out of these riots. Then we back to normal program. We learn to coexist. On these streets, we go to war. We think we're supposed to stay at war forever. That's wrong. We got to change that narrative up. And people can't say you sticking to the culture, the G code, because the G code been broken. You got Crips wearing red and Bloods wearing blue. So you can't say we sticking to what was created in the beginning because it's changed. So we got to change with the times. We got to be like, okay, if we changing like that with the color lines, we got to learn how to coexist. We ain't got to be like, fuck them niggas, go try to kill them niggas every day, all the time. A war happens, okay, it's over, bro. Let's stop that shit. Let's stop these wars from lasting forever. These wars is lasting forever and people just getting killed. There's no winner. There's no winner. You can kill me, but you're going to go to prison. You're going to get life because somebody's going to tell on you. Most of the time it's going to be your own homies going to tell on you. And then your family going to suffer. So you're going to suffer another way. Your kids going to suffer. Your kids going to grow up to be like, maybe who knows? Because you're not there to raise your kid. So you're going to suffer one way or the other. At some point in time, y'all, we got to change this shit up and learn how to coexist. We all from where we from. Let's understand that. But at some point in time, man, like, look, man, we ain't got to be trying to slide on these dudes every time we see them. We ain't got to be hitting these dudes up every time we see them. Like, you know, just like pretty much like, fuck them niggas. They over there, we over here. Niggas got to get that mentality. We do it in prison. Why we don't do it out here? We got more stuff against us as black men on these streets than we got against us in prison. Facts. Most stuff is against the black man on the streets, not just California, but in particular California, because that's where this Crip and Blood shit is real heavy at. We got most stuff against us out here than we got in prison. And in prison, we can come together somewhat and be like, okay, we just chill. And then, because we got to ride together, when they come and take off on us, we ride together. We got to like put all our differences aside. We got to fight these other races together because we black. Nobody like blacks in prison besides others. A lot of people don't like blacks in prison. Other races don't even like to eat behind blacks in prison. Other races treat blacks like we some contaminated shit. We touch some food. They don't want to touch nothing that we had. They don't even want to drink no coffee that we didn't open the jar because they look at us like we contaminate shit. How do people that's non-black think that make us feel? Like, you know, like I grew up with Mexicans and Southsiders, right? You know what I'm saying? And they like, let me get some coffee, bro. For sure. I'm not using my personal spoon. I got the scooper in there. Here, dude. Put you some coffee in your bag or whatever. His homies see him, they're going to want to beat him up. They want to discipline him because they feel like that's a contamination. Fuck, getting something from blacks is foul. So this is what we deal with. People treat us like we piece of shit. Right? But then people love our culture. People love our women. We love other people, women. A lot of people love us more than we love ourselves, too. I know other races that might got love for a lot of blacks and people don't know, then a lot of blacks got love for themselves. So shit is all fucked up. We fucked up, y'all. And we got to figure this out. We ain't supposed to be out here warring this long the way we've been warring. It's too many killings. We cutting down our own community. We cutting down our own race. We helping the Klan out. The Klan is just sitting back in their house and they lounge in motherfucking recliners, smoking big ass cigars, drinking bourbon. Like, we love these niggas is doing it for us. We just kick back. We just kick back. So, on the streets, we cannot learn. We don't know how to coexist. We don't want to unless something happens, unless it's a big ass riot. Like for this nigga OJ. That whole shit. Even though it wasn't just for OJ, it was just a time of a matter of just, that was an act of physics. Shit was just building up. The OJ just let it out. You know what I mean? OJ thing just popped the pipe and it just busted and just blew up. And then we kind of like, okay, we gonna learn to coexist. Why we gotta wait till something like that happen? OJ ain't from where we from. Why we gotta wait for something like that to happen? We don't need another act to bust these pipes, let this shit explode. We supposed to know how by now, because too many of us done been to prison. Too many of us that's done been to prisoners out here on these streets right now. It's too many G's, too many cats in my generation, too many people on the streets right now that's done been to prison and coexisted, Crips and Bloods. Now we on the streets, we can't do it. When we gonna grow up, y'all, we gotta change this shit up. It cannot stay the same forever. Wars happen. We do what we do, they do what they do. And at some point in time, you're like, okay, let's just chill. We ain't got to be over there big kumbayaing with these dudes. They ain't got to be over there kumbayaing with us. But at the same time, we ain't tripping respecting them. You know why? Because there's another machine. There's something bigger than Crips and Bloods that's against Crips and Bloods. There's something bigger than the Southsiders in prison that's against black people, that's against Crips and Bloods on these streets. So while we can't coexist and learn how to like put our difference down, just like don't trip unless somebody trip on you. Don't start none, won't be none. Wrong enemy. Let's figure this shit out. We cannot continue doing the same shit, people. We got to change it up some point in time. If we can stand together because we up against another race of people in prison. Why we cannot stand together when we up a system of oppression that people are trying to knock our motherfucking head off every chance we get, gonna kill us and shoot us 60 times, and then what?